Hey y'all. The rice is here. Y'all have not seen the both of us together in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. And so we're here today to do, I guess, an Ask M / Real Talk with the Rices / whatever. So I guess I want to thank you all for your wonderful positivity and your responses to the I think I titled it like "They're Killing Us, Wake Up" or something like that, or yeah, that video.
Wake up, they're killing us.
There you go. Thank y'all so much for all your positivity on that video. Like, I was really just motivated and encouraged, and I definitely felt like I put the right message out there and that I was doing the right thing. So in regards to that video, this is going to be, I guess, kind of piggybacking off of it, because I've been asked a ton since that video. I mean, like I said, there was a lot of positivity, but there was also a lot of
questions.
There were a lot of questions. There was a lot of judgment about me being, and y'all, I'm not, like, our channel isn't the type of channel that's going to be like we're not going to constantly like always talk about like race relations and that kind of thing, but honestly, it's pertinent information, and it's information that I feel like needs to be talked about right now. So if you're kind of getting tired of us talking about it, sorry, that's just what we're talking about at the moment. So and
that's what she's being asked about a lot.
Yeah.
We try to give people what they're asking for and stuff like that. Yeah. when they're wanting new videos and stuff. So
yeah.
we try to please you guys as much as we can.
Yeah. And so but I was asked about being pro-black while having a white husband. I didn't realize that for a lot of people that is a foreign concept, and that is taboo, that is weird, that is not the case. Like, it's, to some people it's impossible, and I kind of feel like what's understood don't need to be explained. That's how I feel. But I do have a demographic that is asking me for it and asking me for my feedback. So why not? Okay. So I guess, like, for once and for all, this will be our rebuttal, our response to that. Okay. So being pro-black with a white husband, what is it like? How am I pro-black but still married interracially? And most of all, I was considered a sellout or a race traitor and that kind of thing. So if you don't know our history, John and I have been together for 12 years. This year's 7 years of marriage, and been together for 12 years. And so we started dating when I was 16. He's my first boyfriend, my first everything, guys. He's the only man I've ever been with. And so yeah, that's our history. And so I don't even know where to start.
Well, I mean, depending on how in depth you want to go. I mean, we both grew up in very small towns.
Yeah.
You know, it was definitely a not really what we're accustomed to up here where we live now, where there's a lot more diversity, a lot more acceptance and stuff like that. Because believe it or not, everyone, it wasn't just hard for her in this relationship either. I'm not, you know, it was a little tougher on both sides.
Yeah, like, yeah, where we're from, you know, black people thought I was crazy for being with a white guy, and white people thought he was crazy for being with a black girl. We were definitely like kind of outcasts and that kind of thing, but it is what it is. And so a lot of people say, how can you be pro-black but be married to a white guy? I am still black. Surprise! Oh my god.
You are?
I know, right? Y'all, I've been black for 28 years. My family is black. My mom is black. My dad is black. We even got our ancestry done almost 2 years ago, and I am 96% African, guys. So 100% African, okay? And so yeah, so guys, whether you believe it or not, I have always been black. And I feel like just because I married a white man does not negate the fact that I am who I am. I think a lot of people always assume self-hate when someone marries interracially, and I can be honest, because John and I talked about this last week. I could be honest and say that John is not the guy that I thought I would marry, to be honest. I remember growing up and saying, like, just envisioning my husband, and he did not look like John. My husband was tall, like my dad. He was dark skinned like my dad, and he had locks down his back. Not like my dad, but he had locks down his back. I didn't envision John being my husband, guys. I'm still not in shock, but I'm still like, when I envision my husband, I never envisioned John, and that's just what it was. Not to say that I don't love John, not to say that he's not the man for me, but like I said, I never envisioned him being who he is.
And also not to say that she's not happy with me.
Yeah,
like,
I know, right?
Life, because I have seen a few things where that has been brought up as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's a little bit of a facade going on.
Yeah.
If that is the case, she is one hell of an actress, and she needs to go to California, to Hollywood.
I know, right? Because it's North Carolina living ain't cutting it. But I fell in love with John's being. I was not the type, and like I said, I think self-hate is assumed a lot. And y'all, clearly, I walk around with like the darkest foundation on the shelf. Come on, y'all. I have lots in my hair. I love who I am. I love my skin. I feel like I shouldn't have to reiterate that and try to make people believe that I love who I am just because I'm dark, because I think a lot of people think that I don't love myself or I shouldn't love myself because of my skin. And if you remember my dark skin confidence video, which I'll probably put a card up here or something, but my mother grew up telling me all the time how beautiful I was, how beautiful my skin was. Like, I never grew up with a complex. And so I know, and I mean, that's just our society. Like, a lot of dark skinned people do grow up with that complex and feeling like they have to marry interracially to have biracial children or light skinned children, and that was never the case for me, guys. Like, I grew up knowing I was a junk. I was just waiting for people to kind of catch on. Like, I never felt inferior. I never felt like I wasn't beautiful because of my dark skin. So a lot of times I think when people see me, and I think a lot of the comments stemmed from just the video getting a few more views than it normally does, like with my normal demographic. I think with the title and police killing and that kind of thing, then it reached a few people that my videos wouldn't normally reach. But most of those comments were saying like, oh, self-hate and that kind of thing. And I'm like, y'all, I see so many girls that are dark skinned with blue contacts and blonde weaves, and they're called self-haters. So then it's me with dark skin, my natural brown eyes, my natural brown hair, my natural everything, and I'm still considered a self-hater. So it's kind of like, no matter what, if you were dark skinned, you should automatically be a self-hater. And that's not fair. That's not fair, guys, because there's a kid. But I'm not a self-hater, and I feel like I shouldn't have to reiterate that and shouldn't have to prove to people that I'm not a self-hater. We had a baby interruption. And so I feel like I shouldn't have to prove to myself that I am not a self-hater, just because I chose to marry interracially. And I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking, but it is what it is. So I married John because I literally fell in love with his being, and I didn't fall in love with white skin. I remember growing up and being like head over heels for a lot of dark skinned guys, and I wasn't light enough. And I can be honest and say that, like, we can't negate the fact that there is and of course it's a societal thing. It's like white supremacy. It's so, there's so much, and I can't even touch the umbrella of things that will cause this mentality. But I can't negate the fact that I grew up in a small town and I was very dark skinned, and that most of the guys didn't like me because I was dark. Of course I got the whole "you're cute for a dark skinned girl" thing, like the stuff that most dark skinned girls get. And for me, I wasn't gonna wait till I'm 35 or 40 for black guys to wake up and realize that I was the junk. Like I said, I can't change their mindsets. I can't change what they thought when I was 16. But at 16, like, John was woke. Like, John realized how beautiful I was, and a lot of the guys that I liked didn't realize it until now. And I constantly get messages from guys that I used to go to school with tell me how beautiful I am and how they wish they had this and that. And I'm like, you're 12 years too late, you know? So people can't knock John for seeing my beauty 12 years ago and then call me a self-hater because I chose to marry the person that genuinely loved me, all because he wasn't black. Because, like I said, most of the black guys back then weren't checking for me, and that's just, like I said, it was just a colorism thing. So that's what that is. All right, y'all, we keep getting interrupted. And
yeah, sorry about that. But one of the big things that you know, with me, I try my best to. I always say, you know, people always say, well, I want to be colorblind, and, you know, like, people don't really some people don't really like that type of expression. When I say that I'm colorblind, obviously I know she's dark skinned, she's black. I mean, I'm not actually colorblind, but what I see is I look past that. That's one of the things that, you know, that's how I try to live my life, is I try to see, you know, into people, see their souls, see their spirits, if you will, to try to, you know, because I mean, there are some good white people, there's some bad white people, there's some good black people, there's some bad black people.
And all races, yeah.
And that's human nature. But what I try to do is I try to find someone's inner beauty. Hello. And the great thing is that it matches their outer beauty. So, you know, it's really just kind of a win-win for me. And, you know, that's, I kind of picked that up from my father, because, you know, I mean, we've talked about my dad many times, and he was just a really great man, and he tried his best to treat everyone to the best standard as possible. And I really thank my parents, both of my parents, because my mother, she's a great woman as well, and how they raised me to be that way. Yeah. So that's really how I try to live my life going forward, and that's why we try to raise our kids that way too. Yeah. You know, because a lot of the stuff that you know, that we're seeing and everything, and obviously, you know, with it being the internet, it's a lot easier to call someone some of the things that they're calling behind a computer screen or a keyboard. And, you know, if they have a problem with it, that's their problem, because you know, we both believe, and that's the biggest thing too, is a lot of times in this situation where they're like, you're a self-hater and stuff like that, because there's a lot of times people think that, you know, I'm trying to bring her down, or I'm trying to demoralize her because of the color of my skin. No, I support her, and she is a beautiful, strong, very powerful black woman, and that is obviously one of the things that attracted to me. Not just certain features and stuff like that. It's her soul, it's her spirit, and just her mind, really, if you will, of how of a perfect person she is.
Oh, thank you.
And that's one of the biggest things that, you know, that's one of the reasons why, you know, not to kind of sound crazy, but I chose her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in high school.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the main thing is that, guys, I'm not a self-hater. I mean, I just feel like I shouldn't have to say that in this video, but clearly looking at me, guys, like, I love myself, and I think it's very, I think it might be a little strange for people to see somebody that looks like me and automatically assume that they're self-hating simply because they're married to someone white. And like I said, to be pro-black does not mean anti-white. To be pro-black does not mean that you cannot marry interracially. Because I am, at the end of the day, still who I am. My husband is not a white devil. He's not any of the things, he's not any of the people that I speak out about. He is not the type of person that I spoke about in my other video. He is, he's on my side. He's on our side, so to speak. And so, I'm definitely not the type of person to peg every white person as a white supremacist and as a racist and as a bad person, because I feel like my husband is a prime example of not being that way. And so, like I said, at the end of the day, guys, I think it's just weird for people to see a black woman that's married to a white guy and just think that she's, I mean, they automatically think I'm a self-hater. And like I said, I feel like I should have to make a video exclaiming that, because even with our children, my daughter walks around saying, I want long hair like mommy, I want locks like mommy. She doesn't walk around saying, I wish I had green eyes or blue eyes, or I wish I had, you know, European features or straight hair. Like, she literally loves herself like she loves me. And that's what I'm instilling in our children. I'm instilling self-love, what self-worth. I'm instilling the things that my mother instilled in me. My mother never said, oh, you're beautiful because you're dark. She said, you're beautiful. And so I started to love, not started, I do love and always did love every part of me. I love my big lips, my pug nose, my big round eyes, my animated features. I love everything about me, and that's what I instill in my children. And like I said, we're definitely not colorblind. Like, obviously he realizes I'm black, he's white, and it's one of those things where you can realize differences in people, like, and that's the cool thing. Like, I love seeing differences in people and loving that about people. Like, we would be so boring if we all looked alike and thought alike and felt alike. Like, it's wonderful to have a husband that is the way he is and that looks totally opposite from me, but we think the same, and it's just like we're on the same page, and that's a good thing, and that's a wonderful thing to me. And so like I said, if I'm a self-hater, y'all, then by all means, I'm a self-hater. But I know, right? But like I said, I've never had a video saying that I don't love who I am. I don't love my dark skin. I don't love my natural hair, my locks, you know, all that kind of stuff, y'all. Like, I 100% embrace my Afrocentricity, I guess. Like, I love being black, and me loving being black does not mean that I should hate him being white, and that doesn't mean that I think all black people are the epitome of perfection and he's chop suey. Like, I feel like I'm awesome, he's awesome, we can be awesome together. And
to be honest with you guys, I'm very proud of my wife, because, you know, with the way society is nowadays, it's so easy for even a proud person to try to hide something because of not wanting any type of backlash and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm always, you know, telling her that, you know, she's how proud I am of her, because of having the strength and the power to be able to, you know, say, yeah, you know, I'm black, I like it. Which there is. That's what I say, guys. Yeah, exactly. It says exactly the exact same way. I'm black and I like it. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, and like I said, it's with the way today is. With the way, not to just today, the way it's always been. Well, the way the world is. Let me put it that way, because the world is a crazy place, and having the power and the passion that she does. And again, that was one of the biggest things that, you know, drew me to her, because even way back when, you know, she wasn't as she was, you know, coming into her own back then as well, and I could see that in her, and that was obviously one of the things that, you know, attracted me to her, and not just her looks, because I mean, let's be honest, she's pretty cute. Alright guys, so in a nutshell, this camera has cut off so many times, we've had so many interruptions, I literally don't know what's going to be chopped and screwed and pieced together, and there's still kids banging on the door. So in a nutshell, guys, I 100% believe that you can be pro-black and still marry interracially, because at the end of the day, I am black. At the end of the day, I love my people. At the end of the day, I am still black, and I will never negate, and I will never I will never negate, and I will never cast aside
who I am and what I am. And of course the people that look like me, even people that don't look like me, but if people are being done, you know, in unjust ways and they aren't being treated fairly, then I'm going to speak up about it. And that was the whole purpose of my video about they're killing us, wake up, they're killing us. I can't remember exactly what I titled it, but that was the whole purpose. And like I said, with the disproportionate rates of African American killings versus any other killings in the US, then I mean, I feel like it was that video was very much warranted, and I will never take it down. I will never feel bad about what I said. And they are my people. Like, guys, I am black, and so like I said, it might be hard for people to fathom being black and still marrying interracially, but at the end of the day, guys, that's just who I am. And I won't apologize for loving my husband even though he doesn't look like me, and I won't apologize for calling out the people that are racist and white supremacists and bigots and that kind of thing, and for shedding a light on them, guys. Like, I will never apologize for that. So it is what it is. That doesn't mean that I'm a, like I said, I guess I'm a self-hater because I love black people. I don't know the logic, guys. I'm trying to figure it out. But from like I said, from the comments that I've read and from the messages that I've gotten, I'm a self-hater because I love black people. I love people that look like me, so I'm a self-hater. So
no, you're a self-hater because
and because even though I love black people, I'm automatically deemed a self-hater because my husband is white. Yes. Even though it is a self journey, a self, like me, myself. I'm black.
Me, myself, and I.
Yeah, even though myself is black, I'm a self-hater for loving a white man that thinks I'm absolutely beautiful and that loves me to death. Okay. And like I said, y'all, John was woke 12 years ago, guys. Like I said, we can't negate colorism. Like, a lot of times we want to, and not that I'm a victim in all this, but a lot of times you want to make the person that should be seen as the victim the villain. And so, like I said, when it couldn't be comprehended, it was, oh, you're a self-hater. But y'all, 12 years ago, I can be honest and say a lot of black guys told me, even though they were my same complexion, and not that I'm mad at them or anything, because I can understand their I can understand their mindsets. But like I said, 12 years ago, guys, even though black guys were as dark as me or darker, I was still too dark to be with them, and I was not seen as pretty until John liked me. And then that's when I started getting all the messages and the things like that saying, oh, you're beautiful, oh, I've always been in love with you. It took John. And like I said, it's just the whole colorism thing, guys. And
it took me shouting it from the rooftops. And oh, you know what? That guy's got a point. She's pretty freaking cute.
So, and I mean, I couldn't help but feel like when I was 16, oh, now they want me. Now the white guy wants me. You know, like I said, there was the whole colorism aspect. So we can't negate colorism with the whole dark skin, light skin. Like, guys, we can't negate that. And John saw the beauty in me. He saw my dark skin and he loved it. He saw my soul and he loved it. Not that I'm tooting my own horn, but I'm just saying, guys, like, you have to look deeper than just the superficial, just the, oh, you're self-hating, oh, you're this and that. Like, look deeper into someone's self instead of automatically deeming them a self-hater, because I can 100% say that I'm not that. And if I was a self-hater, my daughter wouldn't want her hair locked. So and I wouldn't embrace that and say, you know, do what you feel, do what you want to do. And so
and the biggest thing too on that note, a lot of times we have to, I don't understand why, but we do need to let people know that, you know, we're not just going to teach them just one side of their back, you know, their ancestry, if you will.
Yeah, but even
because we try to let them know of, you know, of everything.
Yeah, and that's, y'all, that's a whole nother video, because even in public schools, African history, not African American history, African American history is just talking about slavery, and they're even phasing that out of school. So at home they will learn about African history and the fact that my people were kings and queens, that kind of thing, because let's keep it real, John's history is taught in the history books, and a lot of times, not a lot of times, most of it's not accurate. And so so like I said, it will be my place to teach them their history and to teach them who they are, and to not be afraid of who they are, and to embrace it. And like I said, guys, they can embrace
themselves.
Yeah, they can embrace their mom and their dad, and they can, you know, they don't have to choose one side of the coin. They can know their mom's black, their dad is white, they love one another, and that their mother is pro-black. That doesn't mean she's anti-white. That doesn't mean she's a self-hater because she's married interracial. That just means that she loves her people and she loves all people. And for me to include my people in the all, like, we have to, I feel like I have to be there for them. Like, I have to be there for my people. Like, that's just how I feel. That's how I've always felt. And it's not just with the recent shootings and that kind of thing. I've been a lot more vocal lately, but I've always felt that way. And I think I've just gotten tired of being quiet.
Well, I think the biggest thing is, like with all things in life, there's a final straw when it's just too much is too much.
When enough is enough,
yeah. So I mean, and you know, that's just kind of where everything is right now. So you know, that's, know, like obviously if whoever's watched us for as long as we've been out, you know, been on here and stuff, they know this isn't our normal types of videos and stuff, but we just, you know, that's one of the reasons why we started YouTube, you know, to get things off our chest, to share our lives with everyone,
share our journey,
and you know, some people don't like it, but this is part of our journey. So
yeah, part of our journey is being in an interracial marriage, and me being called a self-hater, me being called, and John rarely gets any attacks, guys, and I mean, we're just gonna say that, but John never gets attacked. It's normally always me being paid the self-hater and the blah blah blah. And I'm so pro-black, so why didn't I have beautiful dark-skinned children?
Well, I mean, that honestly would be kind of impossible in this situation, because
they're saying that they're saying I shouldn't be with you. Is what they're saying.
Really?
And so y'all, like I said, I always say my kids would be bombed whether they look the way they look now, where they was just as dark as me. Okay, so like I said, I fell in love with who I fell in love with. He fell in love with me, and I think people are finally waking up and realizing that I am beautiful and that we are beautiful. And as they're waking up, they're realizing what could have been, almost, because I did get a message like that saying, oh, you could have been blah blah blah. I could have, but at the same time, people weren't ready for me, y'all. They weren't ready for me. Like, I couldn't wait till I was 30 or 35 to find true love when it was at my doorstep at 16, literally at my doorstep at 16. And so I couldn't wait around for a lot of people to become woke and say, oh, you're finally cute enough, because I've gotten over my self-hate, and I've gotten over my insecurities, and I've gotten over my colorism, and a lot of things that have been drilled into me since childhood. I've finally gotten over that because, you know, because I got over whatever kind of way, and now I'm here, and here I am ready to marry you. Like, that's not fair to me. And so, like I said, what was fair to me was finding love at 16, and him loving me and embracing me, and me, even though, like I said, even though I always envisioned my husband as tall, dark skinned with locks down his back, that's not John, and I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly content with that, and as long as I'm perfectly content with that, then that's life. This is YouTube, aka Emerald and John Tube. So I mean, at the end of the day, is what it is, guys. And I thank you guys so much for all the support that we did on the video. Like I said, this video wasn't to it wasn't to be combative. It wasn't to like, it wasn't even to dispel a myth. It was just to get it out there, guys, because I got the most comments on the video about being a self-hater and basically my words not being worth anything simply because I am married to a white man, and this white man is on my side. So oftentimes too, we want to try to get white people to see our side and see what we're going through and all this kind of stuff, and this is one person that actually gets it, and I'm automatically deemed a self-hater. It's like we can't win for losing, almost. Yeah, guys, so like I said, it's kind of like we can't win for losing, and sometimes there's battles you shouldn't even have to fight, and this is a battle that I'm literally not going to fight. So if I can't win for losing, then I'm just not going to fight it.
Well, I guess technically it's not a battle if we're not fighting. We're just talking about it. But
it's one of those things where people are going to think what they think, and I always have a word for, like, you know, people have like New Year's resolutions, like losing weight, my thing is, this year I started like a word, like a phrase for just, you know, for just what I want my mindset to be, and it's unbothered. And y'all, when I tell y'all, since I declared that in January, I've been mad unbothered. And a lot of people have just fallen by the wayside that would have really gotten under my skin and would have got to me. It's kind of like God has just pushed them out of the way, and just I've just felt really renewed this year. And so I've learned to just not let stuff get to me, guys. And I'm just saying this for people that are like me, that are very pro-black and that are, you know, self-love, and they just want to see black people prosper. And that's not saying that that's not saying that you want to see that for other people, but you want to see your disenfranchised people flourish. What was I saying? I can't even remember. I don't know what I was saying, guys, but anyway, I think I was saying this video is for you guys, and we can just be unbothered by it, guys. We can keep doing what we're doing. We can make it no skin off our teeth. Yeah. Because if that's something that bothers you guys, well, thank you for watching the video and letting us know it bothers you, because it's not gonna bother us. Yeah. Because we have, I like to call us soulmates. And I'm happy, she's happy, we have a healthy family, we're just in a really good place, and we are doing everything in our power to keep it going in the direction it's going, which is great. So and we're just mainly about just empowering and encouraging our children and instilling self-love in them. That's and the biggest part of their self is being black, and they won't negate that. And if their mom being seen as pro-black is a bad thing or a weird thing, that's just gonna be what it is. But maybe we're the first couple you've ever seen with the black mom and a white dad, and the mom is pro-black and she loves herself. And I don't mind being, and loves her husband, yes. I know, right? And I don't mind being the first person to declare that. Like, I don't mind being the first person you see. And I thought this video is super long. So in a nutshell, guys, I'm pro-black and my husband is white and we're married.
What?
And I still love black people. Not only because I'm black, but because I love people in general. But of course, I'm black. So when you love yourself and you have self-love and you just love your family, love your being, when you've been taught to love who you are, then it's just what it is. And so I feel like a lot of people have not been taught self-love, not even being taught black empowerment or loving being black, but they have not taught to love them. They have not been taught to love themselves first, let alone their black skin, their dark skin. They have not been taught to love themselves. So when you start with self-love, then the loving yourself and loving being black, that's just, the loving being black is just second nature. The self-love is what's first and foremost. And so I definitely feel like even with myself during the past couple years, I have embraced myself even more. Like, I've embraced everything about me even more. And I thank God for that, because I've seen people that just, that have not done that and probably never will do that, and that's just them. But like I said, as for me and my house, it will be pro-black, okay?
Our house.
That's for me and my house.
What?
And so, all right, y'all, this is the Rice Life. This video is gonna be super long, but it is what it is. So, all right, y'all, like and subscribe, join us for the ride. And we'll see y'all in our next video. Bye, y'all.
Like and subscribe. Join us for the ride.